Why, hello, hello. How is everyone doing today? Oh my gosh, let me just turn this down for a second. Hi, everybody. It is the very first day of April today, I'm pretty sure, unless time isn't real. I hope everyone's having a good time. We are in for a little treat today. Ooh, cat jammin'. Yeah, so we are diving in today to Adventure April. I'm very excited. We have our sips at the ready. And we're going to plot and we are going to plan today. I don't know what I'm doing yet. I don't know what I'm doing for this challenge, but we will find out. We will certainly find out. And we have all these resources available to us, and I'm going to just dive into and enjoy. I'm going to share with all my viewers today. And so, I guess I just want to take a moment. I just want to sit and relax a little. I've had a week. I think many of us can relate. I've had a very long, very tiring week. The last night was so lovely. There was like a little thunderstorm kind of situation going on last night, so I was just in bed. It was 4 a.m. I should not have gone to bed at 4 a.m. But I would just see my room just lighting up with the thunder and the lightning, and I just hear the rain pouring outside. I'm like, oh, this is such good sleeping weather. And so I got to enjoy that when I went to bed at a time that I should not have gone to bed. But yes, so I'm very, very excited to see that we do indeed have Adventure April. It is here. Adventure April 2023. Saturday, 1st of April to Saturday, the 29th of April. Roll for initiative. So what do you say? What do you say we take this challenge? And you can see way down that way, way down below, I have the little badge up there, and the badge is also on this page. I really like this badge, it's very cute. And yes, so it is time for a new edition of Adventure April. This month we challenge you to write an RPG one-shot or short adventure. Forge your adventure, roll some dice, and see your world come to life. And so I do not have very much going on, as it were, as far as plot in my world. I kind of just have a world, you know? I haven't really done a whole lot of story or player involvement or like, any way to have people kind of experience my world and what's going on in it. So I'm excited to take Adventure April and just kind of see what I come up with. See where it goes, see where we end up. Yeah, so of course, if we need a little inspiration, we have our one-shot template. And I may or may not already have that open in another tab. Just want to participate but not into RPGs? Why not create a written choose your own path adventure? And check out our YouTube video for some tips. I might do that on my own time. Mayhaps. I'm just gonna pop this little link here in the chat. And those who wish to follow it are free to do so. And I do in fact invite you to do so. This is cool. It's some cool stuff. Hello? Who has come? Cross has followed. Hello! Hey Chris, how you doing? We are diving in to Adventure April today. I need to figure out what I'm doing. Where am I going? Doing fine, that's good to hear. Yes, we're writing an RPG one-shot or adventure using the plot template. We're submitting it before the 29th of April. We can use any RPG system we want, or make it system agnostic, as well as any genre you like. Ah, sorry, I just punched my table. Yeah, so, step by step. Have a WorldAnvil account. I think I got that one down. I'm still not sure if I'm going to do Adventure April, but maybe you'll convince me. Hey, maybe. I just know that I absolutely want to participate to some degree in every single challenge that comes up. And so This is something new for me. This is something I have not done before. So we're gonna give it a go, and we're gonna try our best, essentially. I'm just gonna adjust the window size here. Yeah, so I've never written a one-shot before. I have written some adventures before, like I did at one point have this little D&D session campaign that I was running. It didn't get very far, but that was because of life stuff, you know, we just kind of couldn't keep playing anymore. But yeah, I had like this whole kind of story, this whole campaign kind of conceptualized in my brain. Like obviously I didn't write the whole thing because we didn't get that far. But yeah, I've never sat down and thought about like, okay, what is one little adventure, just one compact bite-sized little thing that I can put players into. You know, I always think long term, I always think big. And I can still kind of think big for a one-shot, you know, but for a one-shot, you need to think less about like longevity, I guess. It could very easily sequence into a longer campaign, and I think that's going to end up happening with whatever I come up with for Adventure April. We're going to have this thing, this little adventure story, what have you, and I will just leave the ending of it ambiguous and open enough to say, well, you can continue this adventure if you so choose, or you can go your separate ways and wonder what has happened here for the rest of your days. You know, one of those situations. And so, of course, we have resources and inspiration. We have the Dungeon Fog Community Library for free non-commercial battle maps. One-shots from Adventure April 2021. One-shots from Adventure April 2022. How to write an adventure includes a video. And 5 adventure ideas you can use for your one-shot. This is so fun. Oh. Who will be the first to submit an entry? Yes, if you share your submission on social media, use Adventure April hashtag and mention WorldAnvil on Twitter so we can see them. I'm a little giddy. I have not been awake for very long today. I woke up like a half hour before WorldAnvil stream, showered, watched most of the stream, and then I started prepping for mine, so I'm like, brain's still a little fuzzy, it's not all the way there. And if anyone's ever wondered, that's the reason I don't stream before WorldAnvil on Saturday and Sunday, because I imagine me waking up that early. Hey, WorldAnvil. Oh my gosh, why isn't it giving me... Hello! How are you? Wait! Oh, there it is. WorldAnvil is raiding with a party of 48. Hello! Hi, everybody! Hello, raiders. Hello, everybody. You can... Nerd building is followed. Hello. Hello, thank you. Calixtus, welcome. Tillers, hi. Secondhand Samurai, WorldAnvil, hello. And Delena, that mom friend talks, heyo, heyo. As you can see here, we are looking at the Adventure April page that has just dropped. It's very exciting. And oh my gosh, all the followers rolling in. Thank you, Delena, that mom friend talks. Goddess Xena, Cedra Hanet, Conquest Publishing. Ah, who's bonking me already? VXTRX, thank you for following. Hi, everyone. I hope everyone is having a great time. I hope you all enjoyed the stream that has just come to pass. And now... and now let's dive into looking at all this Adventure April stuff. Ooh, hello, hello, hello. And all my alerts are obviously just gonna be catching up over there for the next, like, forever. So...
refresh yourselves!
Ah. Thank you for looking. You know, WorldAnvil, I don't know if it's both Janet and Dimmy that are still here.
Refresh yourselves!
Or just one of you. Oh my gosh. We do, of course, have the gag on my channel, where, yes, we chain... we chain the
Refresh
cities.
yourselves!
So, of course, there is... I wanted to let you guys know that on my channel here, we do have a little bit of a, we do have a little bit of a running gag here, that, of course, you guys send me a mug, yes, I'm sure you recall, that says grab your coffee and go world build. But on this channel, we have sippies. So we keep saying, when are we going to get the mug that says grab your sippy and go world build? Gotta get the hydration, gotta get the sippies going. It can be arranged. Oh my gosh, I would love that. That'd be so cute. But yes, so my viewers just sit here and they keep redeeming sippies. Ah, I'm not even slouching yet. Or am I? I don't know. I can't even tell. All the all the shrimp checks. Everyone's bonking me. Ah. Yes. If you shrimp check me, that is my sign that, oh no, I am slouching and maybe I should stretch and sit like a normal human being. Very helpful. I often don't sit like a person. So yeah, Adventure April. It is here. It is today. And so yes, before everyone rolled in and came through, I was basically saying that I've never really written a one-shot before. The most I've done really is I've written like 3 sessions of a D&D game, essentially. It was supposed to go into a longer campaign, but it just, you know, things happen. People just don't continue playing games. It's fine, it's cool. But that is just to say, I've never really written one short adventure. One little thing. And my world in general doesn't really have any, like, adventures in it planned or anything like that. So, because I've made it a goal of mine to participate in every single challenge that comes my way, we are going to be giving this a go, and we will hopefully breathe some life into Malcora. We will bring the adventure, yes, and we'll see what we end up with in our world. Maybe we'll get some players in here at some point. It'll be so much fun. Use the template. Yes. The template? You mean this one over here? This one that I have open in this other tab? This very template that I actually love looking at. It's very cool. Yes, of course. So we have our step 1 of figuring out the villain. Step 2, write your adventure. Step 3, the adventure begins. Step 4, the twist. And step 5, the climax. And step 6, the epilogue. All very cool. Yes, Delana says, I'd love to try a choose your own adventure. See, that is also something I could consider doing. I don't know, like I don't have a system in mind right now. Like I don't really know how I'd turn this into a game necessarily. I could do like the 5e system. I know how that works, obviously. It's like the only system that I really know. But I could also do a little choose your own adventure. Ah, there's so many options. Yeah, oh, and Essilor, thank you for following. So, yeah, I could definitely do a system agnostic version. Yeah. Oh, Calixtus, it's also my first time writing a one-shot. I feel both excited and nervous. Me too. And yeah, so I'm thinking, do I want to do, like, you know, like a one-shot, like, you know, that you play at a game, or do I want to do a choose your own adventure? Where maybe I can make fun little story tidbits and my own little assets and images and all that kind of fun stuff, and just like, you know, make it fun, make it fancy. Yeah, so of course, this lovely page. I'm sure most of you in here already have this, but I'll just drop the link here anyway for the Adventure April homepage. Definitely just come work with me. Just come hang out and do your own little prep with me. That's basically what we're doing all stream today, is just seeing what we can come up with and seeing how we can just get around to, you know, putting something together. Even if it's just a little template of some kind. I don't know, let's go to our little dashboard here. Where is the plot template? So, of course, I don't know what I'm doing yet, but I'm thinking maybe I can set something up. Theoretically. And so we're just going to name this plot in progress. Because I just give it a name, just something. And Goddess Zenith says, personally, I'm going to use the homebrew system I made for my world. That is very exciting. That is something I would love to do at some point in the future, is just make a system for myself. One that makes sense to me, one that I enjoy. I don't know, I'm not the most mechanically minded person. Like I suck at putting mechanics to work in an exciting way, and I also just like don't get too involved with them. I'm really bad at it. Like anytime I'm in a roleplay game, I'm like, how do I use all these numbers and things in an efficient way? Like no min-maxing for me because my brain just doesn't process it. You know what I mean? So I'll just how would I make my own system if I just can't even process how they work in the first place? Big mood, let me storytell to the max first. Yeah, I like the storytelling. I just like, you know, being involved. Yeah, Delaney, you feel me on that one? For sure, yeah. Cause I don't know, like I get into games and I'm like, ooh, I love having all these stats. I love having all the numbers and things to play with, but then I don't know how to use them all efficiently. Oh, Calixus says, I have an idea. It would be an adventure that involves a team of adventurers I'm writing about. Well, I only talked about 3 of them, but anyways. I don't know if I should write a one-shot of their first mission or another mission that happened a couple of years later. Ooh. Wow, one of their first missions could be really fun. Like especially if it's one of their first missions, then I feel like that would lend itself pretty well to like a little short adventure, a little short stint. And then later on, you can maybe branch into more adventures that get more complicated and long and drawn out. Ooh. Ooh. Ekilor, I'm sorry if I'm like pronouncing anyone's name wrong. You can just like say that I'm wrong and bad or something. But Ekilor says, I'm so hyped. I was thinking about doing a multi-shot. And now with this adventure April, it even pushes me more to write down the idea I've had in my head since months. Oh my gosh, yes. So many ideas just flying all around. Oh, thank you, Line, for your suggestion. Yeah, of course. Pronunciation was spot on. Great. I think I pronounced it differently when you first followed, so I'm glad that I corrected myself without any feedback. Yeah, so we're essentially going to because I don't know what I'm doing yet, because I don't know what adventure I'm going to try to spin, I'm just going to make myself a little, I guess, template article that I'm just going to populate with the proper information eventually. You know what I mean? So we're just going to basically filler text the entire thing and make some formatting. I'm just gonna see how I want to lay out this article. So, it's not really one of my articles without a quote to start it off. And so, we're just gonna summarize what we're actually putting in here. All right, so this is a quote. Of course. This is a quote that should summarize or suggest the overall tone of the coming adventure. It could come from one of the adventurers themselves, or from someone they may meet. During their adventure. This is basically just my way of kind of brainstorming and documenting that brainstorming. And then we will visually be able to pop open this article and see kind of how everything looks. Yeah, so To open up this article, we're gonna have a quote that should summarize or suggest the overall tone of the upcoming adventure. It could come from one of the adventurers themselves, or from someone they may meet during their adventure. And the credit, some cool guy. I'll just open this in a new tab. So we have plot in progress, our little article to start. Yes, and so Zenith says, I've been writing a story about a group of adventurers in my world for over 12 human years. If you have a greater story and a great world, focus on the goal of what you are writing on. A one-shot is one adventure, therefore keep it about one mission. That is good, that is true. And I would challenge you not to write about them, but make the means for people to become their own adventurers in your world. Also cool. I do recall seeing some entries from previous years' Adventure Aprils where people do have or provide like pre-made characters, essentially, that you can just pick up and start playing with. And I think that's a really awesome idea. But I do think you should also, if you're going to do that, also leave room for people to just make their own characters. It is a great idea for those who just wish to jump right in. Maybe they don't know much about the world, maybe they don't know who they can be. And I find when you're jumping into a brand new world, it's very easy to just feel overwhelmed by all the choice, especially if you're jumping in to play a game in a world that like you know nothing about, but you see that there's lists upon lists of things that you can do and things you can be. It can be very overwhelming. Yeah, so I think it is really cool to have options available for people to just be like, yes, I am this person that has already been written, and I will explore the world for the first time, already knowing like who I am and who I can be, and then maybe once I get to know more about the world, we can have other adventures at a later time where I get to choose exactly the kind of character that I want to be. When I'm less overwhelmed by all this information overload, you know what I mean? So yes, I would be a proponent for including both options. So those who know your world can choose exactly who they want to be down to the very detail. And those who don't know a single thing about your world are like, this character seems pretty cool, so I will play as this character for now. And then eventually, once they're more comfortable, they'll be like, yeah, I think I can branch out a little bit. Not just stick with the cookie cutter. But then you're also gonna have players that pretty much will never fully be comfortable like designing their own character, so they'll always be glad for options that they can just pick up and start playing with, you know? It's really just know your audience and know your players, essentially, is what it all boils down to. It's what it always boils down to. Just know who you're playing with, and you will know approximately what they want to see and what they want to hear. And what they want to play with and what they want to do. All that kind of stuff. And so, we have our little quote to introduce what is going on here. And so, after this little quote, oh, both of you have a point. I was thinking about just giving the players a background to their characters, but I don't know. Yeah, it's always like I would say giving your players a background, like especially for a one shot, like you know you can tell your players like this is basically where you've come from, and you can fill in all the details around that however you see fit. So if your one shot kind of relies on players being like a certain type of way with their characters, like maybe they do need like a certain background, maybe they're all part of a certain organization, you know, like you said, maybe they're all part of one team, then yeah, so you would say like in their background, like, you know, you are all part of this team. This is where you come from, this is what you've been doing. All the details around that are yours to, you know, play with and experiment with, as long as it all comes back here. I do believe that I've turned off moderation for links, so you should be able to post links without like, you know, getting bonked for it. I'm okay with you posting links as long as they're, you know, relevant. all good. Oh yes, 5e backgrounds. Very helpful. Very useful. Oh yes, I do like little graphics on this page. But yeah, definitely giving your players like a jumping off point. Like, you know, say this is your background. This is where you vaguely come from. And then you can just have fun and explore from there. Yes, okay, so we have a little quote from some cool guy, to be determined at a later time. So this is our introduction statement. May be a short paragraph. Just a few lines to welcome everyone who stops by. Scrolling your bio below, I notice I see non-binary. I'm also non-binary, but I don't see pronouns. What are your pronouns? Oh my gosh, I thought I had pronouns on here. Oh no. Well, my pronouns are they, she. Both of them are fine. I have kind of like a preference for they, but I am totally fine with both. Thank you for asking. You will be they. Thank you. Yes. So this is our introduction statement, and maybe a short paragraph, just a few lines to welcome everyone who stops by. Because honestly, people call you she a lot, don't they? Oh yeah, for sure. I don't know. I have this kind of like thing with gender where like I don't really get it. It doesn't really matter to me, but it's very convenient to just be called she, and it doesn't bother me in any way whatsoever. So I'm like, yeah, she's fine. She's cool. Oh, always wonderful to meet more theys. Yay! They party! As well, I don't get genders from a human standpoint, so I feel like, yeah. It's just, none of it makes sense. Yeah, they is ideal, but most default to she, which isn't wrong, but yeah, that's like exactly the same boat I'm in. I think some people have told me that I should maybe look into the label of like agender, like, you know, no gender, like all that kind of stuff. Yeah, because I just don't really ascribe to it, I guess. Like, it just doesn't really make sense. It doesn't feel important to me. So I just kind of. I'm a girl out of convenience, I guess. But I don't really feel like. I don't feel like a girl, you know? I don't feel like anything in particular. That's the way I'm literally saying, yeah. Because, like, I don't know, like, some people out there, like, they seem to care very much about being perceived as like, you know, man, woman. Like that really means something to them. For me, it's like, I guess it makes sense if people call me a woman, but it doesn't like matter to me. It doesn't feel important. It doesn't feel like a valuable label to me. Gender is a micro label, meaning I don't care. I mean, that's a pretty good one. It's a pretty good label. I'm also a guy when just some guy. Yeah, see, like, I will often refer to myself as just a silly little guy. Like, I'm just a fella, you know? Like, those kind of fun words. Like, I will take queen. I will take king. Moro actually asked me how I felt about the title of sovereign instead of queen. I'm like, ooh, I'm a fan of that one. Just a person. Yeah. Demigirl, so I'm a girl, but not fully. Oh, that's a fun one, yeah. It's like, instead of people being like, go off queen, just go off sovereign. Ooh, that one hits me a little, you know? It's pretty cool. I do like that term. I feel that with goddess. Ooh. Honestly, that's also a good one. It's also a good name. Get euphoria with those terms. Yeah. They are pretty lovely. They're pretty lovely things to be called. You're a lovely creator of your worlds and sovereign, a befitting title. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. You guys are really just too sweet to me. Yes, so now we have, this is our introduction statement and maybe a short paragraph, just a few lines to welcome everyone who stops by. We describe the adventure a little bit and introduce prospective players and game runners to the concept. Oh my gosh. Goddess Xena, thank you for the gift subs to everybody. Ooh, we got some good names in there. We got some regulars. Thank you so much for the gift subs for them. Goddess Zenith giving tier 1 subs to Cordishal, Ciantron Fexen, Calixtus, Catoblapon, and Spiraled Chaos. Very cool. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And let's see. Let's go back here. Let's refresh. And so now that we have this little intro, I'm gonna... Oh, and then you subscribe yourself. Thank you so much. I'm gonna have to update my sub goal at this point because it was at 20. Got an ad, so I missed my own sub drop. Oh no! Darn, that's... Yeah, the ads are a little crazy on Twitch, so... I'm just gonna duplicate this little paragraph because I think I like the idea of having I like the idea of having my intro be precisely this long. I feel like that's a good amount. And maybe over in here in the sidebar. Let's see if I remember how to do this. I do not remember how to do this. I'm just gonna pop open this article real quick so I can just cannibalize some BB code. Yeah, I forgot which order the little dashes and colons go to make the little category things in the BB code. Ta-da. We're just gonna fill it with something just to get the point across of what I'm
Refresh yourselves.
Arkiba, thank you for the sippy. You have arrived. Welcome. We are working on
Refresh yourselves.
Oh my gosh, you guys. Why, thank you. Today we are doing some Adventure April prep. We're setting up an article right now for the one-shot adventure that we are going to be planning and writing and maybe making some maps and other assets for in the future. So over the next couple of weeks, over the next couple of streams, we'll be working on stuff. So for now, I'm just using filler text to lay out the article that we will be writing. I'm going to just say that this is a one-shot, and so we're gonna have this little section here in the sidebar where it's just gonna have like a little list of things. And maybe we will do... We're just, we'll just throw out like a random number. It's like, we'll say players 3 to 5. Sure. It's a little placeholder for now. And so we'll just have this little sidebar here with general information about this adventure. Just everything you might want to know at a glance about what's going on here and what we have to expect. we'll be delivering to the people. So type, we have a one shot. We have, maybe we can also do a little thing with themes. Insert list of themes here. And so we will just have, because just in case whatever adventure I come up with has maybe themes that people don't want to deal with, don't want to play with, we can just put all the different themes that are going to be in there, like into this little sidebar here. And so people stumble upon this article in the future and they see my adventure. They're like, oh yes, it has these themes, like, oh, I really enjoy playing with these themes, or I really don't enjoy playing with these themes, or this theme is a hard no for me, I will not be playing this, I will not be reading this. You know, like, I want to give people that kind of like, you know, like a content warning, essentially. So people know exactly what they will be getting into and what they'll be dealing with, without necessarily spoiling what the actual adventure is. I think that may actually be like a very handy thing for any adventure to have. And so yeah, what else? What else might I want, like, at a glance in an adventure? Can I give you feedback on content warnings? Yeah, for sure. I'm always open to feedback of any kind. Though of course for like a legitimate content warning, I feel like you'd want to put it somewhere more visible. Maybe make it that bold red, like, hello, this exists in here. So but yeah, I guess this little section here is more just add content warnings in the top content in an obvious way. Yeah, for sure. Like if there's to make CSS, to make a little bubble. Yeah. For sure. Like my main idea for the themes in the sidebar here is mostly to just kind of like go into just the general themes that you normally wouldn't see in like a content warning bubble. But if there's anything more serious or heavy, for sure I would want to put that like right there for you to see, like, hey, this deals with this stuff. Don't go any further if you don't like this stuff. What you are writing is an advisory. Oh. Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah, I think content warning was just like not the word that I really meant to use there, but it really is for just like the softer things, like, do you like, oh, I hate mystery games, so I'm not gonna do a mystery game, you know what I mean? Yeah. Pickles. But yeah, content warning would definitely want to go somewhere like way more visible. This would just be like, oh, this is like a heist fantasy, like all that kind of stuff. So just like genuinely like the theme of the adventure. Yeah, like listen, I will always be happy to give people space for feedback if they feel like, you know, they have something to say and they need to clarify some things. I totally don't mind that. Like I'm not gonna take it personally. I'm not gonna sit here like, oh, are you telling me that I'm wrong? No. No. We as human beings have to understand that we don't know everything about everything all the time, so can engage with a lot of work because of lack of content warnings. Yeah, I feel like they're not terribly widespread, and that is something that I would eventually like to kind of go into, like go through my content, maybe add some more warnings here and there. We as people too, even I who call myself a goddess, to not know all. Yeah. Listen, even the gods can sometimes just not be omniscient, so but yeah, because as of yet, I don't really have anything in my world that I feel goes into any kind of like darker themes that I feel immediately inclined to be like, hey, content warning, by the way. But I plan to go into darker themes with my world, and so at that point I would definitely want to be like, hey, everybody, there's some stuff here that some people may not be totally cozy with, or not even like not cozy with, but like, you know, it's a little darker, it's a little grittier, it's not something that's for everyone. I have a question about Read My Article. Is there a stream to redeem that? You know, that is something that I need to refine a little bit more. But I would say that if you do that and you submit your article, I will just find like a nice little space within the same stream to just read it. You know what I mean? I would of course ask that it's like slightly relevant to whatever's kind of going on, I guess. I would not want you to derail yourself from me. Yeah, I mean, it's like it is straight up not a problem. I literally am just here to hang out with you guys and maybe get some work done. And if you guys want to share your own work, it's cool with me. Yeah. I just figure it's fun to share work and to just read other people's stuff. I kind of like I got my start streaming in general by doing article reads for other people for WorldAnvil. So during like the big event, I was just on here reading other people's articles. So I figure why not just keep myself open to more article reads in the future. So there may be parts and points in the future where I'm just like, hey, just like submit me a whole list of articles and I will read them on my next stream or whatever. Did you ever read anything from Adventures of Zack the Great? I cannot say that I have. I do not, or if I did, I don't think so. I'm not quite sure what that would be. Okay, there are a lot of places. Is the old name for my world. Ah, okay. That's cool. I'm just gonna add this little subheading here. It's just a catchy little tagline for our adventure. And so I'm gonna say, you're writing a plot and a story in mind. So I have a couple theoretical ideas for what I could maybe do for this challenge. But all of the ideas are just like swirling around in a big mess and I can't really pull the threads from it yet. So for the time being, what I'm doing with this article is I'm just making myself a little template with filler text so that I know once I have my adventure in mind, I can replace all the text with actual content. But I will say the following. Yeah, it did only release in the past hour after all, yeah, but I mean, I did have a while of knowing that Adventure April was coming to like start brainstorming the adventure itself. But of course, why would we take that extra time? Why not just wait until the event drops and then rush to make something happen? But I will say this. Whatever adventure I choose to stage for Adventure April is going to take place in the Kingdom of Arsavella. This is essentially the region that I have cooked up that is meant to be like the starter region for adventuring in my world. So we have this little map that I've put together. I did make this an incarnate. So this is where we're gonna be chucking our little baby adventurers. But it's just finding out what adventure we wish to stage here. That is going to be the challenge. Let me just turn these off. And of course, even this article, I'm gonna have like different things I need to add or change, and it's just a constant flow of adding and removing and editing things. We're never happy with the things that we finish. They're not finished. They're never finished. It is ever ongoing. But yeah. If anyone does want to check out the article, that is it. But yeah, so this is basically going to be where we stage everything. I wish I could draw such beautiful maps with incarnate aside from cities and such. My world or regional maps are a bit plain. Yeah, it's a little difficult to kind of learn and like get into the swing of making things pretty in incarnate. You kind of really just have to just get very finicky with how you are using like the different brush sizes and also overlaying different textures over each other to make like different colors and patterns and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so all my projects are living projects and I will always be adding to them. Yeah, that's basically how my project has been for the past many years. Because so I joined WorldAnvil in 2018, and that is basically how long I've been kind of working on this world. Though of course it's been a very kind of like on and off kind of situation. I'd have periods where I just write like a ton of stuff, but then I don't really connect any of it. So it's just been very loose. It's been really not perfect. And starting from last year, honestly around this time last year, maybe a couple months later, I decided like I'm gonna get serious. I'm gonna start, like, not too serious, but I'm at least gonna try to kind of rein in my ideas and make sure that everything, you know, starts coming together rather than just being this project that I just throw random stuff into. And so that is my goal, and that is why I'm trying to do all these challenges and things, because not only do I want to write and make stuff, I also kind of want to be like on my toes and challenged a little bit so that I can, you know, keep things interesting and keep thinking outside the box, essentially. A good goal to have, thank you. Yeah, like, I just have so much fun with all the challenges in WorldAnvil. Because there's just, like, not only are the challenges cool, like, it's really cool to just, like, face challenges and, like, overcome them and, like, see how you can tackle different things from different angles. But then also, like, the community itself around all these challenges, like, is just tons of support, tons of help, inspiration, good vibes. People just like read your stuff, give you little likes and feedback and all that kind of stuff. Like, it's just such a nice environment to be in socially, you know? Now, Sovereign, have you ever thought about making your own prompt generator to challenge you? See, that would be interesting, but I don't know about prompts, you know, for challenging myself. Because I feel like I encounter enough prompts in my day-to-day, like especially since the community last month did release like 10 bajillion prompts for writing. And I did start tackling some of those prompts, and I ended up coming up with like 30 different article ideas based off of different prompts. And maybe in the future, those will come to life in like full-blown articles one day. So yeah, I don't feel like I need to make my own prompt generator. Like, there's just so many available in the community already. But maybe one day. Like, I would love to just write down just a giant list of prompts that I could put out into the world and share with other people. So not just for myself, but for anyone else who is in need of prompts. You know, I'm just gonna see if I can grab any random image in a size that I like. to act as like a placeholder image, because I would like to have an image in my sidebar. Is that something you feel like you can do on your own with WorldAnvil's tools? Are you referring to making a prompt generator? Because if that's the case, I don't really know how I would go about doing that with WorldAnvil's tools. Though I think that people have done it before. Like, I think that those things do exist, and people have made their own, like, prompt generators on this platform. So, I think that I could do it. I would just need to look into it. Yeah, so I would say it's definitely, like, doable, very possible for me to do. I just don't know how to do that as of yet. I'm just gonna grab this random image. Have you considered hiring someone to build a tool for you? I have not. I haven't really considered anything like that before, because I guess I haven't really had a need for any tools that I have not been able to myself create, if that makes sense. Yeah, with disposable income, your time is valuable. I completely agree with you. But yeah, I haven't felt a need for such a tool. Even if you can do it yourself, is it worth your time? It can be. Very fair. No need to outsource if you enjoy doing it and you can do it. Yeah, like yeah, I just don't think I've encountered many situations where I've just needed something, needed a tool outright that like I did not feel I was capable of putting together and didn't feel like, you know, it was outside of my scope or outside of my available time. Yeah, DIYs can be fun. The challenge of learning something new is always epic as well. Yeah, for sure. Like sometimes that like frustration of not knowing how to do the thing and then getting to the other side where you successfully have done that thing and now you know how to do that thing. Yeah. I've encountered many situations where I needed others to help or tools, so I feel alien in this. Yeah, I mean, like again, there's also no shame in needing help and needing to outsource things. Cause like in the context of like creative ventures, I've always been a very creative minded person. I've always been both a creative minded and tech minded person. So in the context of things that are creative and tech, I usually do just fine, like figuring that stuff out by myself. But in contexts outside of like the creative and tech space, that is when I may need like, you know, help or different tools. But that kind of stuff just doesn't come up in here, you know what I mean? But for people who don't share the same like type of brain as me, then yeah, you may need help with like creative stuff or different like tech tools and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so like huge props to anyone who is able to make their own tools that they need or is able to have other people, like whether they are hired or just assisting you in creating those tools. Just yeah, basically just keep people around you who are willing to help you in some way. Have a support system, just be around people who want to help. And honestly, like if you need help with something and you just go to one of the little help channels in the WorldAnvil Discord and be like, "Hello, I require help with a thing. Who can help me?" You are more than likely able to have at least someone who's gonna be like, "Hey, I've done something like this before. You might want to look into this and this guide." And suddenly things just feel a lot less overwhelming, and now you have somewhere to start, at least. If not like the whole path to finish. So yes, you don't need to do everything by yourself if you don't feel like you're able. I need my community, I need others to support me for many reasons, and I need many people, so I understand. So I'm here, I want community, I feel safe here. Yeah, I think that is the wonderful thing about the WorldAnvil community, is we do our best to make people feel safe and free to express themselves. And, you know, as long as all of us are good to each other, we just have this open space where we can bring our like full authentic selves, our full like creative selves, and like we're welcomed and we're supported, and it's really nice. And so like I have made lots of wonderful friends here, and I'm really grateful for that. Even as someone who predominantly lurks, there's radiance and acceptance in most everyone there. Yes. Absolutely. So if anyone is still here from like the WorldAnvil raid who isn't like part of WorldAnvil essentially yet, or isn't in the WorldAnvil Discord, I would highly recommend that you go check out the Discord, like join the community, start chatting with people. It's lots of fun. Well, we are. Hello. Yeah, you're just in here lurking while we're all like talking up the WorldAnvil community for being the best beans on the internet. Yes, so everyone should go hang out. Everyone should go chat in the Discord, share your work. Oh, you just came back. Hello. Welcome back. Yes, we were just having a discussion about, you know, how sometimes we need some help or we need extra tools to do things because maybe not everything can be accomplished just like completely on our own. And that is okay because we have a whole community of people who are like, frankly, they're like chomping at the bit sometimes to help other people. Oh, the question is, who came back? I'm new to WorldAnvil, I'm in the Discord. Discord and the tool itself. Altogether, so much information at the moment, still overwhelming. Yes, so WorldAnvil, if you're brand new to it, can be a little overwhelming because there's just so much that you can do, so much you can play with. But honestly, once you understand, like, once you boil everything down to like the set of tools that you actively use, it's really not so complex. Without WorldAnvil, I will not have my childhood writing without going to detailed history. Recently came out of homelessness and lost everything, but not everything. Well, that's really good, and I'm really glad to hear that. Very true, Lord. Take it slow, don't pressure yourself. Yes, I'm so happy to see everyone in the chat just like encouraging each other. Ah, I love you guys. You are all fantastic human beings. And others. Started from such a small place before I knew who I was and gender and otherkin. And now I'm happy to be alive and here. Yes, I'm also happy that you're here. I think a lot of us have deeper stories like this that like, you know, we don't necessarily share all those stories with others, but I'm sure a lot of us can relate to each other's stories like that. And we all have darker things that we've gone through and experienced and came out on the other side of. And so I think I better speak for everyone in this chat when I say that I am glad you're still here. I'm glad everyone else is still here as well. And I'm glad I'm here because since I'm here, I get to hang out with all of you. And you guys get this little me. Little hearts. Figuring out everything step by step, already hyped because today I found out about BB code thanks to Strixline. Still searching where I can find more information about it, but I'm sure I will find it. Ah, if you are looking for more information about BB code on WorldAnvil, let me see if I can pull this up real quick. I do not know if you're aware of the WorldAnvil Codex, but here's this link here to a BB code guide put together, I think, either by WorldAnvil or by certain users on WorldAnvil, just kind of upkept by everybody involved. There's all kinds of BB code, all kinds of tags, all kinds of things you can do with formatting. And if you can search around this entire like world essentially. That's just all about it's the WorldAnvil Codex. It's full of all this information, all these helpful tips and tricks on just the ways you can make the most out of the platform. I'll join you on the BB code because I'm new to all of it and I've been using WorldAnvil for a while now. I believe you need to be a guild member to use this feature. Well, no, BB code is just BB code I think is like a totally free thing. It's CSS that I think you need to be a guild member to use. But yeah, anyone who wishes to learn more about BB code commands and such. Oh yeah, no, we're not talking about CSS at the moment, but yeah, BB code, you can do a lot with BB code. Of course, if you combine it with CSS, like the whole world opens up and people do all sorts of wacky, wild stuff on this platform when they combine those two things. And just that is the world that I yet need to dive into because I know very little about it. I know enough to make my world pretty, and to make like little custom containers and stuff like that. Yes, BB code is blocks, CSS is code. Yes. Yeah, so BB code is literally like you see like these little things that say quote. That's the BB code for a quote block. And so it's literally just that stuff. It's the stuff that you type into your articles directly. So that is how you make your blocks, it's how you post your images, like all that kind of stuff. And how you get little image and these little commands here that spit out these things. So with your like little title and description block things. So yes, you can do very much with all this stuff. And yeah, if you don't know anything about it at all, that codex guide will teach you how to do quite a few things that maybe you didn't even know you could do. This world Ember, I discovered how to put the images on one side of the text. I felt like a pro, like I reached my limit of learning BB code. Listen, sometimes you learn how to do like these like, specific things, maybe things that have bothered you for a while, and you're like, yes, I'm the master of BB code. Like I'm the greatest. And honestly, for learning something new, you kind of are the greatest. So don't minimize your victories just because they may seem simple to someone else. You know what I mean? Honestly, all this like all the coding and all the everything, it can be very complicated. It can be very overwhelming if you just dive into it. The code isn't very intuitive. Yeah, yes and no. I guess I don't have a lot of experience with like other things. I think you can use hotkeys. Yeah, you can use different hotkeys for different things, like, you know, Control B, it puts the little bold thing in there. Control I. Or italics. Like there's a whole bunch of stuff. My browser favorites exploded since I joined WorldAnvil, the Discord in this stream. Yeah, there's so much. There are a lot of resources. And of course, even more resources like the ones that we have shared here for Adventure April resources and inspiration. The Wright brothers technically built the worst plane in history, but they're remembered for making the first plane. So always try new things. Gotta be bad at it first to improve. Yes, absolutely. Oh my gosh, I remember my first days as a little baby creator of anything. I look back on all of my old content and I'm like, ooh, that's not good. But if I didn't make that icky stuff, if I didn't make that bad early content, I would not be where I am now. So, if you're afraid of making like bad work, just make the work. Just do any of it. Because if you never plant that seed, it never grows. You know what I mean? Yeah, look how you've grown. I'm proud of you for growing. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, you need to plant that sad little seed so that you can water it and feed it and make it grow. Yeah, I look back at my first digital drawings and I'm astonished of the progress I made. Yeah, Calixtus, you make awesome art and I love seeing it every time that I do. So you just keep making it. And I guarantee you you're only going to get better and better and better with time. And that is the kind of progress I'm trying to make. Thank you too. Oh. Listen, I'm just out here making birds. I love this little guy. Look at him. He's like a little teddy bear. I just want to grab him. Yes, we have our little plot in progress. Burbs! Beautiful Borbs. Yes, thank you. Borbs beloved. Yes, oh my gosh, February. That was 2 months ago now. In February, I spent the whole month just streaming little burb drawings. They're... I want to go take a look at them again. Let's see if they're still on my front page. Yes, they are. Here we go. For Bestiary February. Yes, we get to look at little burbs. Here's my first pigeon. Yes, the Aurelian Gilded Pigeon. And I'm going to say that this is relevant to Adventure April because these are all birds from the region in which my eventual adventure will be set. So we're keeping it on theme. And so of course we have the Aurelian Gilded Pigeon from Arcevella's capital of Aurel. They are beautiful, but they are stupid. And we have the Moss Swallow. They occupy all of the broken down and kind of abandoned farm buildings, and then when the farmers eventually come and try and clean them up and get them back in working order again, these little guys take that personally and they start attacking them. Very friendly, of course. We have the Red Lace, and this one of course was inspired by the Red-winged Blackbird. I just have my own little twist on it. And we have a Puffin, the Gorin Puffin, that comes up from the north in some of the colder months. And the Pines Pheasant. This one, I really enjoy this one because this is a bird that falls in love with people. Because I guess they don't realize that, you know, they can't court a people. They're a bird. Pheasants are always so funky. Yeah, they're funky little dudes. You like drawing birds? I love that so much. I love birds. I don't know if you can tell by my own, like, name and such. Even my logo is, like, inspired by Barn Owl Face. This one's my personal favorite. The Sea Scamp. Look at this thing, it's so awkward. Just what a beautiful creature, beautifully built. Yeah, it sits there and it's just like a little blob, and then it stands up and it's like uncomfortably long. How did you get this photo of me? Yeah, so my favorite way of describing this bird that I've created is like, imagine a seagull, but it runs really fast. And it's very stinky. Even Torchic and Pepe in the background. Yeah, I have little Torchic over here, and I have little Pepe over here, and I have this little like Beanie Baby Kiwi just kind of sitting. They're my friends. But yeah, terrifying. Yeah, so these are basically just like seagulls who run away. Or no, the way I actually was describing them was like, imagine seagulls but with more audacity and runner's legs. That was the full description. They will not wait for you to like stop paying attention to your food or whatever. They're just going to, yeah, more audacity. They're not even gonna pretend that they're like not trying to get what you're eating. They're just going to come and get it. They're not gonna wait for you to look away. Like, they're not waiting for your attention to be somewhere else. They're just coming and getting them. Like, you're eating food on my beach? That's for me. This is my home. You bring food to my home and you do not share? I love them so much. And this is like the most normal bird that I drew. I figured that Arsavella should absolutely have some like seabirds. And so this is a bird, the brine shear, that just dives in the water to catch fish. And they live in little burrows in the cliffs. Like the real seagulls happen to be in the island of Skye. Oh my gosh. Yeah, yeah, where my partner lives, we've had little days where we'll just like go pick up lunch and then we'll go sit on the wall by the river. And this is where all the seagulls like to hang out. And so there have been times where we're just like having our food and they start getting real close. They start coming to hang out with us and we're like, okay, buds, don't get so close now. And one time he made the mistake of like giving them a morsel of something and then they came in full force. And that was mistake. Oh my gosh. But the seagulls here in like the United States do not have the audacity of European seagulls. That much I will say. Because I remember going to Italy and the seagulls there are like, ah, bonked. But yeah, I went to Italy and the seagulls there were like actual monsters. Like they were these terrible little rat creatures. But I love them so much. But the ones in the US, they're like they're almost like shy. They're like, we're gonna stand like really close to you and hope that maybe you'll throw us something. But no, the European ones are the ones that just like straight up come at you. I feel like that's true even for like pigeons. I'm gonna be honest with you. We coexist with the pigeons here. I feel like the ones in Italy also. I don't remember which city I was in. I straight up do not remember which city I was in. But yeah, they're here to run your pockets. Oh, bye, Arkiba. Goodbye. Have a good time. And you bonk me on your way out. How could you? And this one's literally just a barn owl because I figured that my world could use some barn owls. Because why not? It's my favorite bird, you know, I'm gonna put it in there somewhere. They're just a little bit more orange. Correct? They're incredible. They're wonderful creatures. Here's another owl. This guy, I love this little guy. Just in concept. They're basically the size of the little reeds. Yeah, they're the size of the little reeds that grow in like the Brainstorming forest. Is everyone in here from the US? No, I do not believe that is the case. I know we have some US people. I know we have some Europeans in here right now. Um, yeah, it's why I try to keep my weekend streams a little on the early side. Uh, Not earlier than WorldAnvil stream because I just don't want to wake up that early, but but like basically right after, so that all the Europeans in my like friend groups and in the community can still like come hang out, come watch my streams, without it being like terribly late for them. I'm not the only one from yeah, I'm not the only one outside in the US. Switzerland, ooh. Yeah, we got Switzerland here, we got Spain, we got the old US of A, where everything is very expensive and it's it's no good. Yeah, I love these little guys, they're so little. And they basically just camouflage themselves with the reeds. Expensive and no bueno, true. Going to Canada soon. Oh. We have the great bearded owl. And so this little guy has like this white pattern of feathers that basically like looks like a beard on his chest. That's a fun little idea. And so this is just like, this is like the stark contrast of like, we have this little itty bitty guy, and we have this massive bird. So they're basically like a titan among the wildlife of Arsavella, as I've written. And this was the last. Oh no, this was not the last one. This is from my last stream, though. Great bearded owl seems like it can see the future and it doesn't look good. No. Yeah, he's definitely seen some things. Oh, zooming in has made this zoom out. Okay, there. Oh. Oh. Alright, we can't really zoom in on this page. It just kind of gets weird. But yeah, this guy has definitely seen some things. Future's not looking very bright in his eyes. Let's see, we have this little pinnate hummer, and this is one of the little magical creatures of the world who may stumble upon Arsavella but are not native here. And so this is a little bird that looks like leaves. And then this monstrosity, the coil goose. It's like a goose but worse. That coil in their neck is actually just spring-loaded avian rage. But yes, they are known to gather in large flocks around the area in which the ley line of agitation has emerged, and these magical creatures are a menace and pose great danger to everyday travelers. And so you just have these things like swinging their necks around as weapons. Terrifying, I know. But yeah, this is what I did for the month of February. It's just my little adventure in Savellan birds. And so you can find, well, you can't find the last one here. You cannot find the last one in Arsavella, but all of these birds make their home either full-time or part-time in this lovely land, in different parts of it. I would love to fill out like a more in-depth bestiary at some point. Whether it's for this one area or maybe one of like little sub-regions, any one of them. But that is for another day, I suppose. So we have our little plot in progress. Really cool, you've developed so much of your natural world. Well, I wouldn't say that I've developed like so much. I put birds into this one region of my world. But there is a whole entire world of things that I have yet to explore and yet to develop. But that leaves me with a blank canvas of so many other things that I can work on in the future. It's not a bad thing. It's just, more than me, so I'll give props. Well, thank you. I do appreciate the props. I just have this whole, like, big wide world of stuff that I need to populate with little details. but I'm trying my best to get the big details fleshed out first so that I actually know what tinier details I should be putting into which places of my world. Because that is where I've struggled so far. Most of my struggles have come from me not fleshing out the world itself and just going into small pockets of it and being like, all this stuff lives here. All this stuff happens here. I don't know how it got here, but it did, and so now it's here. But yes, so I am trying to flesh out the big now. At least more recently I'm trying to do that. It is my goal. Because we can actually, if we want to take another little adventure, if you will. We go back to our articles list. I have been on Organization Quest. Let's just zoom this in so we can see the categories. I'm on Organization Quest, and so I've been trying to slim down, or not even slim down, but define my categories, my article categories for my world. And so we started with like a couple that I wasn't like totally happy with. They were very like, general. But now this is where I currently am. Of course, I'll just open up these real quick. Quite a few. But so we have our introduction category, which is where I would like to put articles when I make them, such as like the world primer, little introduction to my world, all this kind of stuff. I'm failing at lurking. Ah! That's okay. That's certainly not a bad thing. Regarding organization, have you considered making a meta tree of how things are related / dependent on each other in world building, so you know what the dependencies are for the things you want to make? So I have not physically made such a thing, but I do try to keep these dependencies in mind. It may be a good idea to maybe utilize whiteboards and such, just to keep my ideas organized and in a visual way. But yeah, so of course I do have plans to make articles about, you know, the article that is like the world primer, so that introduces people to the world, to Malcora, to what is going on here and what's happening. I might also include in here an introduction to the people of Malcora, though I do have a whole category that is going to be dedicated to it. I would like the category itself to more just be kind of like the list of these people that exist.
Refresh yourselves.
I'm thirsty. I am a little bit parched, actually. Thank you so much. But yes, so the introduction category is going to be where I put like kind of like the big meta articles of like this is like a major mechanic of this world. Here's how it works, what you need to know. And then so the category for people is going to be where the actual like the list of people are. So when I say peoples in this is like my stand-in for like the races of the world, like little fantasy races. And we have 3 categories of these races because the people will be differentiated based on their magical bloodlines. So we have the 3 different powers here. We have the divinity, which is the gods. We have the world spirit, which is the elements. We have the ley lines, which is like magic. The arcane, essentially. And so naturally, the Leyborn have leyline related magical blood. The Eldrot have elemental blood. And the Faithkept are divine. So that is how people exist in Malcora, essentially. And so I just need to go in and actually make the people. I have a couple in mind. Thank you for sharing your mythology. Yeah, of course. I've been putting a lot of time into trying to figure out exactly how I want it all to go. What did you call the divine peoples? The Faithkept. They are the Faithkept. And so basically the way Malcora works is basically is that ley lines flow through the entirety of the world, And there are times where they will essentially emerge in different parts of the world. And the geography around these emergences will basically like drastically be magically altered. And these just kind of happen periodically. They come and they go. And when they change the world in this way, everything in that area changes down to like the people and the creatures and everything. And so depending on the type of blood that a person has, they will also be transformed in a different way. And that is basically how the races come to be. So you are not permanently one form, necessarily. It all depends on where and when you are in the world. And so, yeah, and so the Faith Kept are such named because the gods make sure that no matter what changes in their environment, they are, kept safe. So whatever form they are given is up to the discretion of whatever gods are watching over them. The Eldrot are linked to the elements. So whatever changes happen to the land is mostly what they're going to be receptive to and how they are going to change. And then the Leyborn are going to be changed in such a way that is directly linked to the ley line itself. So whatever form of magic is coming forth, that is what they're going to be transformed by. And I really appreciate everyone in the chat right now being like, oh, that's so cool. Thank you so much. Yeah, Leyborn must be really susceptible to those changes, absolutely. Do you mind if I borrow that word for my own work for a different purpose? Yeah, for sure. It's a really cool idea, so different from my creation myth and how my world works. Let's see all the different ways people have their world recreated. Yeah, so this is this whole concept is one that I've been like, it's only one that I've solidified very recently. I don't know, like it's like I'll tell basically everyone all the time, like I originated my world, like it first came to be, sprung up, if you will, because I wanted like a little homebrewed D&D setting. So of course when I first started this world, it was like, yeah, we have, the humans and the elves and the dwarves and all that kind of stuff. But then later down the line, I'm like, I don't want to do that anymore. I want this place to be like my own thing, my own creation with its own origin and its own mechanics and the way it works. And so now we're here. It's like, how many years? 5 years later, here we are. We actually have kind of more of a concept for our system in place. And we're gonna see how that goes. You're a wonderful and creative goddess, Sovereign. Oh, thank you. Oh, I want to make a system. I haven't done that yet. Bestie, you are doing it. Oh my goodness. Listen, it's a system in concept. Well, I'm currently working on my deity concept. At the moment, it's a mixture of elemental gods, stellar gods, and right now I'm trying to connect them together. Woohoo! That's very fun. Yeah, dwarves laughs nervously. Yeah, the ones that are hidden and no one knows if they're still alive, and I never talk about them. Yeah. Woohoo! Yeah, but like, and of course I will say, like, I tried to get away from like the classic fantasy stuff, but like if you work with those like existing fantasy like races and tropes and all that kind of stuff, that's also really cool. Like I didn't just stop liking those things. I just wanted to do my own thing. I wanted my own like from scratch creative venture essentially. Ooh. An article reading? Do I have... Now, did you submit a link with that? Not yet. Woohoo. So one day, maybe. I'm grabbing it. Ooh. Shall we be reading an article today? Yeah, on the topic of organizing. So yes, I have my peoples, I have my powers. And I have a little category for places, of course. You gotta have your places on there. So we have the great continent of Nephirin. which if you've seen my map, you may be at least vaguely familiar with this place. And then of course I have this little category for community stuff. And so this is where all my like challenge articles and such live. So we have a section for events and challenges. And so we have all my collection of articles from WorldAnvil, Summer Camp, other challenges. We have our patron hauls, which I do have a Patreon, and I'm trying to ease myself into a system where I have like special secrets and content available only to patrons. And so in oh gosh, I don't actually have a command for Patreon. I'm so sorry. Yes, I do have links, yes. But yeah, so the patron hauls are like a complete work in progress. They don't have all of the stuff in them yet. But it's just a little preview of what's to come. Very cool of you, my friend. Good luck, I hope it goes well. Thank you. I do have a couple very lovely patrons. One of them was in here earlier. And I appreciate them and all their support, so I'm hoping that one of these days soon I will give them all the content that they deserve. But outside of the context of WorldAnvil, I do post like not links, like works in progress, new art that I finish over on my Patreon. Yes, and I do see your link and I will absolutely grab it in just a moment. Is related to what you were talking about in my own world. Very cool. So yeah, I will absolutely look into that in just a moment. I'll pop open the link. Yeah. So yeah, so I do post like works in progress, finished artwork on my Patreon that at this point in time is like artwork that I haven't really posted anywhere else. So at least you do have that to look forward to if you want to support, but I shall never ask of it. Let's check out this article. Let me just unzoom from this so that the article itself doesn't look weird. But here we are. If I pronounce this correctly, Heroian Cosmology. Or is it Heroian? You can tell me if I'm like messing that up somehow. Laborian. Oh. Babukine's collective knowledge and systems to examine and study of the spiritual and physical heavens. Va like ah, not oh. That I think so Vabuyan. Oh, cool. So it was a popular and fascinating subject across multiple cultures and across time, considering the complex nature of the realm of heroes. It accounts for the outer space between the planets and stars, their movements, the planets and stars themselves, their effects in both physical space and by magical means, the planes of existence, the metaphysical structure of the universe itself, and everything outside and beyond it. Was the name for my faith kept. Oh, very cool. Where was I? Oh, yes. It's such an all-encompassing subject, yet one that is also incredibly important to understanding the setting, its people, and their cultures and beliefs. As such, this article attempts to make clear all the concepts used in Vabuyan cosmology, henceforth just called cosmology, as an easy-to-understand language as is possible. The study can be divided up into separate schools, with some being more broad-reaching than others, and some being specific cultural variations of certain schools of thought. Ooh. Oh. Peruvian. Yeah, okay, cool. That's what I was wondering. So it's edificumology. You're right. You are all good. So that is why I was a little confused, because I was like, interesting. Proper nouns. TM, yeah. The study of metaphysical structure of the universe. Etherology, or the study of ether and all matters pertaining to the impossible space outside the realm. Alticology, or the study of Altaker, or the dream. And this does say the dream, so it's a little thing to look out for. And all Arzanian cosmological constructs. Astrology, or the study of the heavens, stars, and outer space objects that make up physical reality. Chelomology, or the study of the spiritual heavens of the gods that are situated in the planes of existence above, with some exceptions. Specific studies of each heaven exist as subschools. The dream is an intentional breaking of the rules because it is like the Bible. Celestology, study of the stars, constellations, and their effects on the world and the people. Human astrology is the closest analogy for this. Cool. Gehenology, the study of hell and draining effects on the realm. Motusology, or the study of the movement of spirits and the dead within the realm, specifically the pull of the recently deceased up to the heavens. Planology, the study of planes that make up the realm of heroes in general. And Cineology, the study of pocket dimensions and hyperspace. That's cool. I'm just gonna drop a little like there. Yeah, so this is really cool. I do love stuff like this where people define like different types of studies and things in their world. I get really how to describe what is what my brain is trying to spit out right now. It's like, I don't know, like these lists of things and like different studies and different things that you can like look into more of in the future. You are forever an editor. Of course I am forever an editor. I feel like it's very difficult to find a world builder who is not forever an editor. Yeah, I was always like that science kid who was really into looking at the different types of studies and the different things that people look into. So I see lists like this and I'm like, ooh, what kind of things will I find in each of these categories when maybe these articles come to be? You know what I mean? There's a lot in there. Yeah, so this is all very cool. And I do really look forward to like seeing more of this come together and see more of it become, you know, like written out and available. Yes, very cool. And of course, for everyone else, that link should still be up there in the chat. I'll just go ahead and post it again. Just you know, for funsies. I'm going to be rewriting the world during Adventure April. Ooh. Very cool. Yes, so I feel like there will be, please give it a follow if you find this stuff interesting. Yeah, yes, absolutely. I will go do that. I'm a very detailed builder. Yeah, I like putting details into things. And of course, anyone in the chat who does not already, you can also pop by, follow me, see my world, see all that kind of stuff. Let's see, where's the button? So follow this world. You are now following Fabu. So that will take me to my author page and should be pretty easy to get over to my world as well. Maybe I'll add my actual like physical world link to that too, but we'll get there. We'll get there one day. It's also all like down below in my description and stuff too, like my about section. I have like all my links, all my everything. Just kind of hanging out down there. Your world gives me so much joy. Oh, thank you. Yes, that link there is my world. Yeah, and so have we started Artists in April yet? I do believe that Artists in April is indeed kicked off at this point in time. Let me see if I can go grab that article for you guys real quick. Cause Yee-hoo. I stopped and looked at a message that made me happy. Let's see, where are we? I think it may be in my recent likes, question mark? Yes, it is. Okay, great. I do have it. So there is another challenge going on at this point in time. It is a community unofficial challenge called Artists in April. We want to go have a look at that too. So this is a challenge that has been put together by one of our very own, Oster. And so it is Artists in April. And this one, the challenge is to create an original work in any medium that is directly a part of your world. And so this means that you will be making like some form of art, some form of creative or artisanal thing. Like you are making something. And so this could be, as the examples here show, this could be an animation showing a major event. It could be a portrait of a famous person. It could be a landscape of a natural disaster. It could be an anatomical drawing of a creature's form, a map of a local area, maybe a short story written by a bard, a physical spell scroll, a piece of woodwork handcrafted as a toy, etc. So yeah, so you make anything like this, any creative thing. And so let's see the rules. You can work on your submission from the 1st of April to the 14th, so this is only a 2-week event. It is over, or the submission period is over in 2 weeks. It's supposed to be like a little short thing so that we still have time to do Adventure April like afterwards. And so whatever you create must be accompanied by an article of at least 50 words describing how the piece exists and how it works within your world. So what is it? And so basically the idea is you're creating something, creating like an artwork or like, you know, anything. And this would be basically something you've taken from your world. So something that would exist as an object in your setting. And then so you just make an article, describe what it is, what it does, how it's there, how it works, etc. And then you submit it over here in the comments section. Yes, submissions placed in the comments of this article and will be recorded by the judges. It says, please include them with your Discord username so we can get in contact with you surrounding any prizes or badges. And so we do have a little community judging panel for this as well. And so we have 4 judges. We have Oster, who has created this challenge. We have Annie Stein, who is creator of Solaris. We have Kato Blapan, creator of Shattered. And we have myself, creator of Melkora. And so we have a rather award-winning cast and crew here. It's very fun. So this challenge will be judged essentially on creativity, on presentation, and integration. So is it I'm a judge? Yes, I am a judge. I am a judge for this. So I'm not technically going to be participating, although I do have, thank you for disclosing that. Yeah, sorry. But yes, I am a judge for this. And so I find myself a little bit, I'll talk about my ideas here then. Yeah, I mean, maybe a good, words might be a good choice, but let's see, I have this existing map that I may simply make an article for, just to say that I've participated in the challenge. And this map, which quite literally does exist in the world, and it may seem familiar to any of you who watched, voted, participated in the World Building Awards. This was my winning map for the Cartography Award 2022. And so we just have this map, and I think I may put together an article for it that just goes into who made it, where it comes from, and why it has come to be. And so that will be my little drop in the bucket there.
Refresh yourselves.
Oh, I thank you for the sippy. And of course, there can never just be one
Refresh yourselves.
Sounds fun. Thought about the idea of creating physical objects for my players when I am DM. It'll be something that they find during the campaign. Will help them solve a riddle. Ooh, very cool. I've definitely had D&D experiences where our DM will literally hand us like little scrolls for letters and all that kind of stuff, and it is always so much fun to just be handed something as a player. It is so exciting every single time. And yeah, so those who participate in and those who win will get special badges that are created by Oster himself. And each winner chosen, there will be judges' picks for every single judge individual. They will receive a bookmark with the badge on it. And the overall winner, everyone that agrees upon the overall winner, they will also receive a voice recording of their article. That's a fun little thing. Yeah, I just think this this challenge is really fun and really cute. And I encourage everyone to just, participate if you have the ability. Like if you are a creative person and you want to make a thing that exists in your world, it'll be lots of fun. They will get a box in the beginning of the campaign because we play online. Everything will be packed, and during session 1 I can say open this package if they find an object. And now to pick a thing. Yes, there are many things you could do. The possibilities are pretty much endless. So yep. Just in case anyone did miss it, I'll just drop the link in here again. There it is. So you can check out the article itself, bookmark it if you want to participate. And then just figure out what you want to do. I love seeing little challenges like this pop up from, community members. Just getting people involved with each other in this community, like even beyond just what the platform itself releases for us to do, like Adventure April. It's more opportunities for us to connect with each other and show each other our work, and that's a lot of fun. So, let's see. What else have we? I'm just clicking through a whole bunch of tabs that I have open. And now, does this also count for this challenge? Does what also count for which challenge? I'm a little bit confused by the question. Let's see if we can make a couple more little edits to our plot in progress article. We'll see I'm now in the full width footer, because I figure I'm going to put the meat of this article in in the footer down below, so it occupies the full space underneath the sidebar. And so, I'm gonna make some categories here. So we'll make a little introduction. And so we'll say this section gives an in-depth introduction to the adventure setting, the important things to know, different people and organizations to be aware of from the very beginning. So no spoilers here or anything. This just tells you, this would introduce you to where you are, maybe who you are, who you do know, and what kind of information you are already going in here. Oh, never mind, it's too late. I guess I will not be able to explain with my English knowledge what I mean. I'll figure out tomorrow. Oh, well, if you figure out, I guess, how to explain better, I'm more than happy to figure out. Or I'm more than happy to explain anything that you just have a question for. But I also fully get just like not knowing how to explain yourself in the moment. Happens all the time. Here's an in-depth introduction to the adventure setting, the important things to know, important people and organizations to be aware of from the beginning. Also leave your question in their Discord. That is also an option. Ah, and I do see that you have hopped into my server. Hello. Yes, I do have a little Discord server. And so this Discord server is where you are going to see all of my announcements, pretty much. And so you can pop on in, you can see whenever I post new art or new articles, new videos, new everything, get little pings when I stream. And there are little roles available for you to select, so you can choose exactly what you will and will not be pinged for. So I do like to keep the @everyone pings at like a minimum. The only time I use them is when I'm like super excited to share something and I want everybody to know about it. That is when I will ping everybody for something, but like if you want to be notified whenever I stream specifically, I have a role for that. You can tag yourself as a watcher and I will ping watchers every time I go live and, you know, stuff like that. And hello, I'm glad you saw me on Discord. Hello. I'm glad you've hopped in. Yes, so if you want like full quote-unquote access to the server, like go read the rules, pick up a special little role that's in there, and then you'll be able to do more than just type in messages. Yeah, thank you for pointing out to everybody that I do have the Discord. I usually forget to do that, so. Now here, so of course we have our little introduction. We could also reference this one-shot adventure template that WorldAnvil has created for us. Very beautiful. Let me see if I can grab like the actual. See if I can grab the actual link, the proper link for the template. This is actually it. Yes, it is. Okay, yeah. So this is the beautiful one-shot template that WorldAnvil has put together for us to help us with Adventure April, especially for those of us who are not very experienced in, in writing one-shots, myself being one of them. I had never written a one-shot before. So this is a really cool resource that they've really, they've worked very hard on this. So, created by Janet Forbes, graphic design by Irina Zelescu, design direction by Dimitris R. Pavlidis, edited by Kat French, art assets courtesy of and used with permission by Christopher Drevas. Cool. Forward. Welcome Dungeon Masters, Game Masters, and Storytellers all. Let me see if I can zoom in a little. This template will quickly guide you through creating your own one-shot or adventure plot. Once you've filled it in, you'll have a great villain with nefarious plan, tantalizing hook for your players, and a series of varied encounters leading your party to an epic final scene. Beginner dungeon masters will find it easy to understand, and more advanced storytellers should feel free to experiment and customize to their preferred style. For more guidance, help, and advice, we've created a series of articles that expand on each section. Each of them is linked to the relevant pages below, and you can find the introductory one here, and there's a little link here that guides you through this template. Very cool. And so, of course, we need to figure out who our villain is. Ooh. A villain. Name, class, level, race. Let's just zoom in a little more. The what? The villain's evil goal. What is this villain trying to do? When? A deadline. You need to, if you're making a one-shot, you need to limit the timeline of your players. Would you like a feedback regarding villains? For sure, whatever thoughts you have on villains, I welcome them. How? How are they trying to achieve this goal? What exactly are they doing? The why. Why haven't they already done it? And their motivation. Why do they want this? Sometimes a villain or antagonist is not a person, but something else. Absolutely. Like, you do not need to make a person. Like, I've also because of course we have character versus character conflict, and that is when a villain would be, you know, a person that you've created. But there's also character versus environment, which actually, Goddess Zenith, you are saying right now, a force, an uncontrolled enchantment, weather. Absolutely, the environment could be your enemy in this case. There could be a natural phenomenon or unnatural phenomenon that is coming and posing a giant threat, and you need to figure out how to stop it. That could be your villain. I guess you might wish to say that this would be, instead of like a villain, this would be like an antagonist, or just I don't know, the words are failing me, but it doesn't need to be a person. Like, you are absolutely right. It could really be anything. So your who could also be modified to be more of a what. You could say the what. The villain is a person, and then you would elaborate, and then you would give, you know, your villain. Or the what could be a thing that is happening. It could even be a creature. And then maybe if the villain isn't a person, your what here, step 2, that is the villain's evil goal. Maybe you would have to reframe that so it's not a goal necessarily, but it is now the prospective outcome. Oh, do you have a link to the epidemic playlist? I suppose I could summon a link to this playlist. I don't really... Yeah, I can definitely share this playlist. It's just here you go. This is just the this is just a little playlist that I've put together that I just kind of let run during my streams. So yeah, if you like some of these tunes, it's literally all just like royalty-free music, or not like I pay for this service, and it's because I pay for this, I'm free to, you know, like use it in streams, use it in videos, use it in whatever media I feel like. So yeah, if you just like these tunes and you just want to give them a listen sometime, you're more than welcome to. There's a little playlist. You know about epidemics I pay it to? Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool. But yeah, so as I was saying, yeah, so if your villain isn't a person, it may not have a goal, but rather an anticipated outcome. So if you do not stop this antagonistic force, what is going to happen? So in the case of an actual villain, their goal will come true. So what is their goal? If you do not stop this like unnatural phenomenon from destroying the world, then well, the goal / outcome is going to be the world's going to be destroyed. We can't have that. And so when? The deadline. The deadline's, you know, the deadline. That's not really going to change. Depending on if it's a person or a thing, or like no matter what it is, like a timeline is still going to need to exist. And so it could be a day, it could be a couple hours, it could be any amount of time. But for a one shot, I would probably say that your goal should be to set it within the day or within a couple of hours in game. And how? How is this antagonistic force trying to achieve this goal or this end? So what are the methods? What is going to be happening? What are they going to be trying to do? What weapons? What does the villain have in their arsenal that they're going to try to use to achieve their goal? Or how is this other ambiguous antagonistic force going to affect the world in such a way to achieve this end? Like, what is it doing? How is it getting there? Is it like actively building up? Is it going to be doing small things here and there before it finally explodes? Or yeah. And so the why. Why haven't they already achieved this? Maybe someone's been holding the villain back. Maybe someone else has already been trying to keep this unnatural phenomenon at bay that is going to destroy the world, but maybe now you come in because this person is now indisposed. Now motivation. Why do they want to achieve this goal? So for a villain, of course, if they want to achieve their goals in some way, they'll have like a reason, like a tangible, like personable reason, maybe. For a thing that's not a person, why do they want this? Well, maybe it's not so much of a why, because you can't really put like a human rationale onto like an ambiguous like thing, a weather pattern, we will say in this example. But why do they want this? Maybe this phenomenon is like drawn to a certain type of energy and it is flowing to that. So why is it going to destroy the world? Because destroying the world is just a side effect of them reaching this thing that it is drawn to, you know? So it can be very broad. It can be like pretty much anything. Oh, and they have their little example for the 1. Evil necromancer wants to 2. Turn the crown prince into a zombie puppet before 3. His coronation next week. But she can't do it using 4. Her usual magic, because 5. A vassal has stolen her spellbook. They want 6. Ultimate power over the kingdom to legalize necromancy. So you can just you can basically just use this little template to formulate essentially like a 1-sentence summary of the story that you're trying to tell. Let's see. What are 3 effects of the villain's plot that the players will interact with? Well, that's very good. And so, in the example that was already listed, you may have ransacked libraries of magic or houses of magic users. So maybe this villain, this necromancer, is trying to ransack wizards' houses looking for a spell book that they can use to replace their own. Or 2, practice zombies in various states of disrepair or with weird abilities. Because her usual magic isn't working, so she can't quite do the necromancy that she seeks to do. And then rumors of spies or break-ins in the palace. And this is how the villain is trying to gain access to information. Now, congratulations, you have a plot. Some GMs might be ready to run a session only with this. And that is true. Of course, write your adventure. Setting up, where does the adventure start and why? You know, the classic, you start a session like, oh, you're all in a tavern. And you turn and look and you're surrounded by adventurers. Do you want this to be your start? Or maybe you want to start somewhere else? And why is that? And then the hook. How does your party hear about this? This often the effects of your villain's plot. So maybe they've heard about something that the villain has done, and they're like, ooh, maybe I should look into that. And of course, why would they want to look into that? What are their motivations? Pick 2+, which resonate with your players. So maybe they want money or equipment. Maybe they want stuff. Maybe it's like they feel it's their moral duty, or maybe they're very faithful and it's something they know that their deity would be happy with that they do. Maybe they just want to explore, gain more information. Maybe they want to build a reputation for being like, a good and helpful citizen. Maybe they have personal stakes. Maybe the villain has affected their family in some way. Character quests. Maybe your character just has their own plot going on, and in doing this, they feel like they can glean more information towards their own existing quest. Or maybe they're just getting out of trouble. Maybe they're running from something actively and they find out that this thing is going on and they realize like they can slide into this little thing and get out of what they're already facing. But then sometimes, of course, that just gets them in even more trouble. A different kind of trouble. Maybe they've succeeded in escaping the thing that they were in trouble with before. But now they need to figure out this nuisance situation where they have this, necromancer on the loose trying to turn their prince into a puppet. And then, step 3, the adventure begins. The investigation is the core part of the adventure. This is where the party follows up on the effects of part 1 and gets on the trail of the villain and their evil plot. And so, of course, naturally, this little one-shot template is geared or written with the evil big bad kind of villain style in mind. But I mean, as we spent quite a little bit talking about little variations we can make to step 1, you can make your villain anything. It doesn't even have to be a villain. It can just be something that your players will find difficult and will need to resolve in some way. And so you have your location. Where are the events happening? This is an opportunity to add flavor and world lore. Your progression. This could be a clue or key information to solve an investigation or mystery. Gathering pieces of a totem, dispatching a key henchman, freeing an NPC who can help them. Oh my gosh, you got me. You could see that I'm sitting cross-legged in my chair. Oh, I'm gonna sit up straight.
Refresh yourselves.
Look at all y'all and of course there's another one.
Refresh yourselves.
I gotta say, Preppy Monty Poppycock, I really appreciate you just lurking here and providing sippies. It's very sweet of you. If I can see the white of your chair, you are slouching. Oh gosh, wait, what's the white of my chair? Is it this thing? My little pillow? But yes, yeah, so progression. Players love just oh no, it's the stripe? Oh, this. Okay, I got you. These little stripey boys. I got you. Yeah, players love feeling like they've just like achieved something, reached a little step. I feel my second stream while gaming. Gotta pay attention to the sippies. Ah. Yes, you just find things like you free a key NPC, you do an important thing. Then there's obstacles. Whether it's battles, traps, hard slogs through difficult terrain, solving a riddle, or simply interrogating an NPC, progression shouldn't come too easily. Obstacles are things the party will need to overcome. Presenting a variety of them gives different party members a chance to shine and helps keep the story varied. I love this. So you have location, progression, and obstacle. And so basically this just sets it up like you put your players in a place. You give them a way to progress. And then you give them an obstacle that gets in the way of that, either before or after. Maybe they find their NPC without any struggle, but then now that they've released this NPC, a henchman is caught on to the fact that you've just released one of their prisoners, and they're like, you're not going anywhere, and so that's your obstacle. But maybe if you turn that around, you have to fight this henchman before you even have access to this NPC that you need to free. So, you can get real creative with it. And then, of course, in locations, the characters seek progression, but must overcome obstacle. If party fails, there should always be another way to progression, albeit with resource, time, condition, or even curse-style cost. After all, you don't want a locked door to end the adventure. Remember, your party may not visit these in order. It's true. For one shot, 1 to 3 of these scenes are plenty. Keeping location close together to limit travel time and scale is a good idea too. For example, 3 different rooms in a dungeon. For an adventure designed to take several sessions, this can easily be extended to multiple locations, clues, progressions, and obstacles. So, of course, it's very modular. You can do a 1-shot, you can do a 3-shot. But of course, who can forget the twist? Choose a complication. What is the big surprise, reveal, or twist before your climax? These examples could include mistaken identity, a supposition or lie is revealed. The stakes are higher than we thought. Hostage situation, a difficult, mortally great choice, or an ambush. Ooh. And then you have your climax. Where does the final encounter with the villain take place? How will you add an extra challenge for the party? Examples include additional units and reinforcements, difficult terrain, levels or cover, conditions, dead magic bubbles, driving rain, frost fireballs, or additional goals. Stop the portal opening, prevent escape, extract truth, keep the villain alive, or get close enough to touch them with magical amulet. Many, many different ways, and that is how your final encounter goes. And now the epilogue, the last little bit. If the villain has been defeated, how will the world change? Is there additional reward for the party? Which loose ends to the story need resolving? Does this set up a subsequent adventure or one-shot? So yes, what happens now that this adventure is concluded? You have your climax, you finish this adventure. What now? Is it over and done? Does the party part ways and nothing else goes on from here on out? Or is there opportunity for the party to continue adventuring together? Is there more that can happen? Maybe you can have a whole campaign where at the end of it, or, at some point through it, you realize the villain's not actually dead. The villain's not actually gone. And that is where the fun lies, because that means that the fun doesn't have to end if you don't want it to. But congratulations! After following this up, you have a great villain with a plan, a hook to pull players in, a clear series of steps players can take with obstacles and challenges, a great twist, satisfying climax battle, and an ending that gives your players the feeling that they've left their mark on the world. Grab any stat blocks you need for your encounters, maybe a battle map to get ready to hit the table. Your brand new one-shot is ready to play. On Ekulor going to bed, thank you for the stream inputs and time. I liked it very much here. Looking forward to come back here. Bye! Goodbye! Yes, my next stream is tomorrow, 2 p.m., although tomorrow is not going to be a world building stream. Tomorrow is just going to be a gaming stream. Yes, well, you guys, see, you're actually all leaving at basically the time that I'm going to be ending my stream anyway. So, I'm very happy that you all stopped by. I'm so happy that you all stuck around and have little chats. I really appreciate you guys. So tomorrow I will be playing more Graveyard Keeper. Tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern time. And so if you want to just hang out while I play some video games, it's a game that I love. I would be more than happy to see you back if you want more world building. Although for the Europeans, this will be very late. It'll be Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. And thank you, Line, for another wonderful stream. You are so welcome. Bye, Line. It was a pleasure to meet you outside of World Building Con and to chat. Yes, I'm so happy to have you guys here. You are always welcome to come back. And if you ever see me hanging around in WorldAnvil, you are always welcome to just say hello. And so, yes, for those of you who are not just outright leaving, I'm going to, let's see if we have, oh, we have one of my friends, another WorldAnvil human. It's Time Pool, looks like. You're streaming art. So I would love to send you all over there right now if you are sticking around at all for any additional minutes. I will once again plug my little socials if you want to see me elsewhere in the world. And I will just once again share my little Discord server. So if you wish to keep up with me and all my little happenings and all my doings, you're welcome to just come join in. But I think I will be calling my stream here for the late afternoon, evening. I'm gonna go get myself something to eat. So everyone, you just, I'll give you a little WorldAnvil send-off. Everyone, grab your hammers and or sippies and go world build. I love you guys so much. We are going to go raid Time Pool, doing some art. Time Pool is a wonderful anvilite, a fellow creator, and honestly a fantastic designer, writer, and frankly everything about them is very cool. So let's go hang out and have little chats with Time Pool. See you guys!